Hello, hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning or good afternoon.
Oh, should be good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Yes, there we go.
That's so 3 years
I,
ago.
I know.
I know we're not yet live. I think we're going very soon. I love technology, but I never quite know that moment. We are live. Yay! Hi, everybody.
A windy, unseasonable, windy day here in Miami. A little bit cold, but really windy. What's it like up there in your neck of the woods, Sandra?
Oh, here in the North Pole. Here in the North Pole, it's a brisk 26 degrees. It's just below freezing. It is windy, it is cold, and I have four wild turkeys sitting right out there on the lawn,
Wow.
sunning themselves. So all good. How about Kerry and Phil?
It is dry for a change. It is not raining here in England. It does make a huge difference, and it's about 2 or 3 degrees, so maybe a little bit warmer actually. It's 10 degrees. I've just looked at the thumb. That's absolutely
So
wonderful for
our
the.
heart breaks for you, Robert, to
Yes.
have it mildly, to say it mildly, how it's a little bit cool for you.
Yes.
I am in shorts and sandals today, so
Somebody has to always rub it in.
I
yeah.
know they do. Well, everyone who's joining us now, whether you're watching us live or you're watching the replay, it's just a holiday gathering with my friends Carrie, Phil, and Rob. And we've got some catching up to do. We have a new movie that's coming out. We've got some really good holiday things happening. Plus, we thought we could just give you a few tips and tricks to get through this holiday season. If you haven't met me yet and you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Sandra Champlain. I'm the host of We Don't Die Radio, also Shades of the Afterlife. And those two podcasts, I have now close to 600 episodes. So I am heavily invested in good evidence of the afterlife, helping people through grief, and then how to have a powerful life. I'm also the author of the book We Don't Die, A Skeptic's Discovery of Life After Death. And years ago, I met fabulous Robert Lyon at my previous career cooking for race car teams. And he had the prediction after reading my book that someday I'd be traveling the world and he'd be cameraman. And I thought, oh, wow. And from that, what it's turned into is really a dear, dear friendship. And he's also created a film called Rinaldi Transcommunication with the Other Side. That's our first We Don't Die film project. Of course, he's traveled with us to our live events and done so much more. And then also picking up in my web, it was is the wonderful husband and wife team of Kerry McLeod and Phil Dykes. I met them years ago. They are two of the top mediums in the world. They are just cool, regular, down to earth people who not only feel like we all do about us living our greatest life and knowing the reality of the afterlife, but that the people who live in the spirit world, that is our relatives, our loved ones, through proper mediumship and proper training, that they get their voice heard in the world. It might be the only opportunity through a medium to be able to speak to you. And yes, they're around us, and yes, they show up in our imagination, but so many of us just chalk that up to our imagination, and we don't know how close that love is. And then going into this holiday time, it's tough, even for myself. I've got loved ones who have passed and families not together. So we thought we'd come together, let you know what's happening with the film, because it's very exciting. You can follow the progress at mediummovie.com. We've got some great upcoming events in our Sunday gathering and classes and stuff, but also just let you know some of our feelings about the holidays and maybe, like I said, a few tips and tricks to help us all through the season. So let's say hello to these fabulous people. Carrie, Phil, Rob, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Your voice went too high then, Sandra and Kerry. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you and some spectacular words there and very kind words about ourselves and Robert and everything. We just have a passion for what we do and we enjoy what we do. And that's the main thing that we implement in our work is to do everything that we just enjoy and makes us happy.
Mm. And this time of year, you're correct, can be very tough for people. Not just those who already have their loved ones and friends in the spirit world, but those who have family and friends that are unwell at the moment, who they're wanting to be with, they might not be able to travel to them, or they might be in those final moments of walking this physical world and moving into the spirit world. Knowing where they're going to doesn't always make the grief any better. In fact, it doesn't at all. So this Christmas festival period, regardless of which faith you follow, this time of the year has lots of religious celebrations within it. So we want to offer you some thoughts on how to navigate through this time and to feel close to your loved ones, whether they be in the spirit world, whether they be a little bit under the weather just now. We'll share some tips as to how you can manage your way through that.
Oh, thanks, Kerry. And Robert, heading over to you, we've created now this next film is coming up, and Kerry and Phil are the subjects of it and good evidential mediumship. But you want to talk to us a little bit about what's been going on, what we've been doing over the course of some Sundays and what's coming up, and just tie in your thoughts about the film and the project.
Yeah, the project really started in 2019 at We Don't Die Orlando when I first met Phil and Kerry. And that first day, I was there to film the whole thing. I had no idea I was going to take part in one of their mediumship classes. So I sat in the class with my wife, Maggie, and just had such an incredible experience sitting with a stranger and doing a reading under their training. And, I walked out of that with a new way of looking at reality and life. And I decided I needed to do this kind of video work with Phil, Kerry, and everybody that was there. So that whole week was the start of this journey. And so it all began in Orlando. And then we went back to Orlando and did a discovery course, and We Don't Die Fort Lauderdale in 2020. But fast forward to this year, we've done film shoots in Vancouver, Canada, Troy, Ohio, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Blackpool, and we have plans on filming in Australia, which that's coming up next year, and Florida. So we're putting this all together, and we've done quite a few interviews and lots of B-roll and experts and student interviews, one-on-one readings, and then getting the reaction about those readings. So this is kind of all coming together. I have it all on a sticky note board because it's just hours and hours of footage. So I'm here organizing and really trying to mentally get a picture of how I'm going to edit this thing once we're done filming. I'm already starting to edit it, as many have seen the trailer. But the real editing is going to come in the spring after Australia. And but I'm having a great time putting it together, and I'm learning so much because I've spent so many hours in their courses as an observer behind the camera. So it's been exciting. And yeah, we're in the middle of our fundraiser event at mediummovie.com, and it's 4 events for the 1 ticket. 3 events are already done, but you can still get on the next one, which is this Sunday with Phil and Kerry doing a demonstration, and we'll probably do a little Q&A as well. But I wanted to thank Craig Dowling, Avril Johnson-Craig, Shirley Ann Sharp, and Tim Southwell for doing our first event as student demonstrations. They did awesome jobs. And on our second event, we had Craig Hogan give a really interesting talk. And I'm going to break that up into little bits and put that on our We Don't Die Films YouTube channel over time so people can watch that. And also, if you missed it, you can still watch the replay of it if you join our event this weekend. And of course, my dear friend Jennifer Brazier, Evidential Medium, was our third event, and she gave a demonstration that was awesome to watch. And we launched our Past But Present TV series, which is now available on pastbutpresent.com. You can rent it or buy it. 6 episodes. It's an adventure show with mediumship. So, and it involves history, and it's really fun. Check it out. It really helps validate the spirit world because she gets messages when she goes to these different locations. And then I go and look up the history of those locations and validate the stories that she receives. Myself and Lisa Lanuski, she was doing a lot of the the background work and looking up these cases and these historical events that happen in these places. So that's where we stand with the movie, and looking forward to completing it and having it out hopefully by the end of next year, maybe a little longer than that, but it's a long process. But we're really careful to put this together the right way and put out the right message, which is, I know, is important to you three, to have the right message for evidential mediumship. And maybe you can kind of explain a little bit more on why you're so invested in getting the right message out there, Sandra.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that and also over to Kerry and Phil in just a second. But we are recording this, going live with this on the 14th of December. And so, yes, on the 17th of December, you are welcome to join Kerry and Phil, myself, Rob. There'll be a demonstration, evidential mediumship with Kerry and Phil. It'll be a 90 minutes that we're together. It'll be after our Sunday gathering, which is our ongoing weekly non-denominational spiritual service that we really inject with a lot of joy and comfort. There's a medium demonstration included. That's free. It starts at 2 o'clock New York time. And then at 4 o'clock New York time, there will be this demonstration. And if you are watching this and it's after the 17th, don't worry, because there's more to come. And also, like Rob said, if you sign up at mediummovie.com, you get the replays of everything. And I'm sure we'll have some good things cooking in the future as well. For me, I am very passionate about good evidential mediumship, and Kerry and Phil in just a second will talk about why the film is important for them. But I know for myself, I've been on this journey of looking for good evidence of the afterlife now for just over 26 years. And one of the most common things people think of to know that their loved one is around is through an evidential medium. It has been my experience, however, that getting a good evidential medium reading is extremely rare, that there's a lot of mediums on planet Earth. They're charging a lot of money. I honestly think most of them are good people, but they don't know that they can raise the level of their evidence. And I don't know if the ethics are there. And when I met Kerry and Phil years ago and took some of their classes, and of course, we've got ongoing medium classes going on almost every month on Zoom, I found that they broke down mediumship into a language that everybody can understand. A lot of people think you're a born medium, and I think just like you could be born being a great piano player, right? We all have the skills to do it, but some people have a natural ability. We are all souls having a human experience, and I think to learn evidential mediumship, whether you want to be a medium or you just want evidence that your loved one is there, there's nothing like having good and proper training, because you get to feel like you are that spirit person. That's my experience anyways. And I know through the Zoom rooms, these students have brought through some of my loved ones, and I've brought through some of theirs. And, you think it's your imagination, you find out it's not. And of course, the whole world of mediumship is based on our psychic faculty. So I was really surprised and delighted to learn that we learn about our psychic faculty first, what the difference is. There's mediums out there, and God bless them, but they're using their psychic faculty to do readings. And for me, ultimately, I have this passion to just raise the level of mediumship in the world, that if somebody gives their money to a medium, that first of all, there's a money back guarantee, right? Could you imagine that? Hold them to account, that everyone pays a reasonable amount of money. Someone once said, it's like getting a haircut. You can pay just a few dollars and get one. You might not get great quality. You raise the rate and you get somebody who's properly trained. And I think that's the same thing with mediumship. But the thing is these people that charge $200, $300, $400, $800 an hour it's criminal. And I know, as being a person that gets a lot of emails from listeners of my show and readers of the book, more times than not, there's this horror story that people tell. And so, like I said, I don't think all mediums are bad people, but I just don't think that they know that they can be trained to a level to really be of service to humanity. So I'm going to turn it over to Kerry and Phil about why this film, Evidence of the Afterlife, is important to them, because we are all partners in this, and we're going to do everything we can to get this message out to the world.
Complete agreement, Sandra. Our intention, the reason that we agreed to be put on film and for Robert to follow us and come into classes is for it not to be about Phil and I, although obviously we are the two people that are in the class teaching and tutoring and doing the private readings and DEMS. We wanted it to be educational, something to be left behind long after we have left this planet, for there to be something that people can go to as a resource that shares with them what mediumship is and what it isn't, what a good medium should be providing and what they shouldn't, and also to raise the standard of mediumship. You've spoken correctly, Sandra, that there are so many mediums on this globe working as they see it for the spirit world, and they're maybe a little bit misguided in that they are working psychically. And some would say, what's the problem if they are providing healing and comfort to the person? Then if the comfort and healing is given, all fine and well. But when somebody says, your dad is telling me that you should, and then proceeds to say something that might influence that person's life, that's not correct if it's not actually come from the spirit world. So we're about raising the standards, which is why we've named it Evidence of the Afterlife, Saving Evidential Mediumship. We've both pledged the rest of our breathing days and probably beyond to saving evidential mediumship. Many people don't know what it is. We want to educate people. So primarily that's what this is. But we also want to let people know when their loved ones go to the spirit world that they can have contact with them themselves.
Yes.
And we are going to share with them how they can do that.
Yeah, I think it really is about the truth of how a medium should work, their ethics, their morals. It also shows behind the scenes of a medium's life as well, and how we interact in that everyday life. But it's important that we get the message across about those standards, about what should be expected from a medium, and how each time they work, the evidence should be different. Should not be like a shopping list, what we hear and get seen taught today. It should be really about those strong understandings and evidences that are not known and aren't out there in some social media world or anything else. It's about proving the truth of personal memories, understanding and sharing memories, and walking every step with them of their life. That's what a medium does, and brings the story alive. But it's important, as Kerry said, that, okay, we're the subjects of the film, but it's about that truth. It's about education, getting people to understand about the spirit world, about how a medium works, the different abilities and sensations that they have that bring their mediumship to fruition. As Robert's mentioned as well about the classes, how things should be taught. And just recently, I was reading a book about silver birch, and it talked about mediumship. The biggest threat to it is the lack of training. That's why that we have that subtitle of Saving Evidential Mediumship, because we believe in that truth that a medium should only get responses such as yes or no, and not life stories from the recipient. So that's the way that we work. We want to say that we know, we hear, we see, and give them the facts, not give them a description of something that we see. We're making statements of it. And that's the thing that we really need to raise the bar on. As you've said, Sandra, that there's many people that get in touch, and we've had somebody recently spend X amount of dollars on a reading.
Hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds, I was being polite. And where they're not getting what they should do. And when they sent us the transcript of it, we were appalled. We need to really raise. Now, I'm not saying every medium's like that, because they're not. There is some really, really good mediums out there working and doing really good work. But it's about spreading it to those people that might never walk into a church, or may hear people being skeptical, and they get the color of their brush distorted by those myths. So we're trying to leave a legacy or something behind that will reach people from every walk of life, that can take a really good look at mediumship and what mediums do and behind the scenes, because there seems to be a portrayal these days that it's a life of grandeur when it absolutely is not. And it's getting those scenes behind the scenes filmed to show you exactly what a medium goes through to spread those truths as well.
Some of it you might not like, some of it you might not be interested in, but it'll be there. Robert's been
Oh,
trailing us about.
He's like a spider on the wall, isn't he, Robert?
Fly in the wall.
Fly on the wall, as you know.
Well,
well, in a moment, I'm gonna. Oh, Rob, did you want to say something?
yeah, the challenge of making a film about evidential mediumship is the skeptics out there that are, unfortunately are skeptical a lot because in mainstream kind of television shows, they're all edited. And you really have no way at home to know what's been cut, because they cut to the audience member, and you really have no way of really knowing. So that's one of the challenges that I want to take on in this movie. And how am I going to do that? How am I going to show the audience, a skeptic that might be watching this, that I didn't twist the way, the order of the words that Phil says to make it work. So we've been tossing around the idea of having, like a 5-minute unedited reading where you see the recipient and Phil at the same time on camera, and it's not edited, so the person can really see the truth there. And it'll be like a disclaimer. They said, you're about to watch 5 minutes of unedited mediumship. And the other thing I want to do is have a big event in Miami when they're in Florida. And anybody that wants to come and sign up for this to be on the movie, let us know, because I want to have, I don't know, maybe 50 people sit in the audience and have free cameras filming the people and Phil and Kerry, and have like a split screen so that nothing is faked or edited. So that's one of my goals with this movie.
Oh, all great words. In a
Yeah.
minute, I'm going to ask everybody what's coming up. I know we've got some holiday things planned, and also some good classes coming up in 2024. But first, I want to tell everybody, if you go to easy to remember name, mediummovie.com, you can, depending on when you watch this, you can sign up for your choice of donation and get the replays from everything that we have done, and also the upcoming medium demonstration with Kerry and Phil. There's different giving levels, and if you have a few extra bucks to spend, this is such a important message to get out in the world, because boy, to really live life knowing that our loved ones are around, that we're going to see them again, it gives us a whole new way of living life. It puts things in perspective, knowing that we have this invisible cheering squad with us, and that we can be in touch with them as well. So mediummovie.com, and you can keep an eye on where we're at with donations, what's the latest with the film. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that all through that website. Okay. And now I want to turn it over to Kerry and Phil. What's coming up? What are you cooking up for the holidays? I know I'm part of a lot of it. And then what's going on? What's your plans for 2024 with classes, live events, and online events?
You're right, Sandra. There is a lot going on, and you are part of it for definite and for sure. We have quite a few live events. We're starting, as you know, this Sunday with the demonstration, raising funds for the evidence of the afterlife. But also we're carrying on with that wonderful thing called the Sunday Gathering, because we believe at this time of the year is probably one of the most crucial and important times to be in service for the spirit world and humanity. The more that we are there to provide, because not everyone still has all their family, not everyone still has access to freedoms and be able to travel about. And some people are isolated, and some people live on their own. So to provide a service such as the Sunday Gathering, where people can sit in their homes and be part of a community, is really important. And that's why myself and Kerry and Sandra, and I'm sure we can rope Robert into this as well, we want to do Christmas Day specials where we can all just come together as a community at one place where we can all talk, spend a little time of our day together. So to make sure that nobody is on their own and somebody will be there that they can speak to. And it will be an interactive session, and it will be where we can talk about our years and what we're excited about in the year coming up.
And this will be the 4th year that we've done the Sunday Gathering over Christmas and New Year. Was it last year, the year before, we actually did it on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. That's how much we know those of you out there that are on your own or find some kind of support in the Sunday gathering. We don't look at taking time off. We are there for you. We want to provide that service for you, which is why, as Phil said, we're going to do a live session on Christmas Day. So it's a Christmas Day special live on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. It will not be recorded so that we can sit in our house and eat our Christmas dinner. We want to provide that online
That's
service.
not a pretty sight when you think about it, eating live on camera.
So
I
we
might
will
be
be
in
there
my
for you.
PJs.
That's a good idea, actually. We should have a PJ special.
So we're going to have that on the website in www.mymediumship.com. That will be on there very soon. We're just back traveling from the States. We're a little bit behind, but we will be starting our classes in the second week of January. And we've got the Tuesday class where we're going to be looking at colour and the aura and reading the aura. We're going to have the Wednesday class, which is mediumship level 1, primarily psychic, moving into mediumship, and the Thursday class, mediumship level 2. And then we are going to be doing our progressive groups are full. In fact, we've maybe got, no, we haven't. We've filled the space.
Filled space,
Both
yes.
progressive groups are full, and we've got lots of live events through 2024, some of which Robert will be there with us. And if you go to mymediumship.com, then all the details about online classes, face-to-face classes, pre-recorded courses, and some downloads that people might wish to use over the festive period when you are needing your own contact with the spirit world. There's 8 varied downloads of meditations. They're not expensive, they're not meant to be expensive, they're there for you. So if you want to try out, go to shop and downloads and you'll find them on there.
Yes. You can also join us with our mobile app now. It's all open and available on
That's
Apple.
right.
And we were hoping that it would be on Android this week. It's just a little bit of a delay by Google. They want to make sure everything's right with it, and we applaud that as well. But again, with a lot of
It's
you,
My Mediumship.
Yep.
If you not Google, search on the app
yes,
on
absolutely.
Apple.
But also with a lot of you asking for workshops to come back, we're planning those in for 2024. And again, Sandra will be involved in those.
The online weekends.
Online weekends, lots of face-to-face events, as Kerry's already mentioned, and there's quite a few that are being brought out as well. I know there's been a lot of inquiries to people wanting us to go to different parts of the world and help them with their development. So there's a lot of talk about that as well. And again, that's something we'll all be sharing, Sandra, ourselves, and Robert, as we move forward.
If somebody is brand spanking new, they like you guys, you seem nice, like nice people. Trust me, they are. What would you recommend they get started with? Would it be the Tuesday Color in the Aura class, the level 1 medium class,
I would
combination?
recommend if they're brand new and they're looking at it and they want to come to a safe environment that it is very friendly and community based, I would say the level 1 mediumship, which is the Wednesday one. It'd be really good to get them that solid foundation on the psychic and understanding that psychic faculty and how they use it every day, which will make them relax and feel more comfortable about it. And then we start introducing the mediumship, and then those speciality courses that you just mentioned there, colour and the aura, how we perceive colour, how we understand colour, and how we should use it as well. So again, let's start off in the basics. Let's get the foundation right.
And it's open to everybody.
Correct.
Even if you think you don't want to be a medium, but you want to find out more about your own psychic power, it's perfect for you. If you're curious, it's perfect for you. If you want to prove you can't do this, we'll prove you wrong. Therefore, it's perfect for you.
Yes.
Thanks so much. I know for myself, just getting a little taste of it, it's so comforting. Your classes are fun. Everything's recorded, so if you can't join live, everybody gets the replays. There's 6 sessions over the course of 2 months, 2 hours each session, lots of practice in the breakout rooms, and everybody's nervous, so Don't worry about that. The whole idea is just to explore. They're fun. There's a Facebook group included where you can meet other students in between sessions and you can practice. But I don't say this lightly. The community that we have built over the past going on 4 years now has just been tremendous between people attending our Sunday gathering and then people that are part of the classes. We feel like one big family. So we are all down to earth, no big egos. We're here to serve. And we can be lighthearted. Just because someone passes into the spirit world doesn't mean they're not still real people. And as we see on our medium demonstrations and on our Sunday gathering, we still have a sense of humor when we pass. What I'd like to do now for each one of us is just to share maybe a little tip or trick or something, just tying in the love of the afterlife to this upcoming season. Maybe Kerry and Phil, you go first. Rob, any thoughts that you have? And then I'll pull something out as well. Kerry and Phil?
Can I just say that anyone that's reluctant to take part in their courses because they're nervous about getting everything wrong, that's kind of the point. You want to get the nose so you can, learn the process. And what I've observed in the courses is that they're all in it together, and there's no reason to be afraid of getting the wrong answers and no's. And everybody's just working together to try to figure it out, all the students. And I just found that, I found that great. And I've learned so much by just sitting in, because I never intended on working on my own mediumship at all, but sitting behind the camera and listening in, I've had my own experiences. And there was one that I'll just mention quickly where two students were having a little bit of difficulty, and something I kind of just was, I'd been sitting in the room for a while. I was a little tired, and I let my mind go a little bit off, and I was daydreaming, and I had this picture come into my head of a specific thing. And once that session was over, all day long I was thinking, should I say something about what I saw? Because it really made sense to me. And the image in my mind would not go away all day. And I was thinking, is it unprofessional for me to get involved with this? But I went up to the lady at the end of the day and I said, was your dad a sport fisherman? And she's like, yeah. And I said, yeah, during your session, I could see him holding up the fish and standing there. He had a beard, and he had his beer, and he was with his buddies, and they were taking the picture of the fish. And she's like, yes, yes, yes. So like it came to me, and it was just because my mind kind of went, I just let my thoughts go, and boom, it popped in. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was legitimate because I just couldn't let it go after that all day. And it happened twice. So it was, yeah.
It's really good because you mentioned something there, Robert, that's really important. How people today have self-limiting beliefs and they feel the pressure of trying to get the validation, the yeses, when actually we should be enjoying the experience and learning from the no's and looking at what we're presenting. And the more that we can change people's mindsets on this, it allows the pressure to dissipate and enjoyment to come forward. And there's nothing greater, in my view, than seeing a medium or somebody developing, enjoying the work that they do. That naturalness must come first, because mediumship is a byproduct of who we are. So the more that we enjoy, the more we are ourselves, and the more that we accept that our flaws will show at times and be comfortable with it, is the natural way the mediumship will develop, because we're allowing ourselves to feel the emanations of the spirit world, the feelings of the spirit, which is a real science in itself. So what we try and do, as Sandra's already said, is break everything down so it's understandable, but it relaxes people, and we create an environment that is very, very supportive. And for ourselves, it's really important that we get that message across.
And for over the festive period, over the holidays, you too, yes, you have the ability to contact your loved ones. Phil and I hope that one day mediums will not be needed, because people are so sensitive and so open to there being a something after physical death that they allow themselves to be open. Robert's talked there about him just daydreaming, and Phil's clarified that's what this is. So this holiday season, take time, whether you have people that have recently transitioned to spirit or have gone there a long time ago, or might be so unwell that you know they're in their final moments on this beautiful planet. Firstly, allow time for you. We get so caught up in looking after others. When you look after yourself, things become a lot easier. Stress, tiredness, anxiousness is three of the most prominent factors in our being that get in the way of us being able to sense the spirit world. So if you're relaxed and you have slept and you're looking after yourself, you make it more easy for yourself. So take time, whether it's with one of our recordings or whether it's in the silence on your own, sit and be quiet, allow your mind to wander. Don't wait on your mind becoming clear. You're going to wait a long time. Your mind can never be clear of everything. Sit with that in thought and allow your mind to wander. And when you begin to think about your loved ones, your relatives, your pets, and you begin to picture them and you begin to imagine what their voice was like or the noise that they made, please know that there's a really good chance that is them connecting on your train of thought to let you know you are there. You might want to write it off as imagination. It isn't. It is them reaching out. And for those of you with relatives and friends or pets that are in their final moments, even if those final moments might be the next 6 or 9 months, tell them you love them. Because it's the one thing you will want to know they heard. Tell them you love them, even if they don't tell you back. Give them hugs. Do everything you can to be with them so that when they pass to the spirit world, you are left with nothing but good memories, no regrets. Take time for you, take time for your loved ones. Sit in that silence, and miracles happen in that place.
Absolutely. And if you do sit in that silence and you do send that thought, because they're only a thought away, to them and really cherish their memories within your heart, they will see you. They will see you like a light that will glow radiantly, and they will feel it. They will feel your love. But also, if you ask them for signs, they will. Those signs will come in different varying forms, from things you might find around the house that weren't there before, to music that comes on the radio. Synchronicities are often not just those things that happen by chance, are actually orchestrated by the spirit world for you to be at a certain place at a certain time to hear these things. Even where we can sit in front of that wonderful thing called a television, where we sit down to relax over Christmas and watch those films, or we pretend to watch them and we just rest our eyes. We're never asleep. But actually, those films might come on of yesteryears, okay? Because it is about memories that we shared with people, memories where we sat round a table, where we talked, where we conversed, where we raised a glass of water or something stronger and celebrated that time together. The more that we really cherish those memories and hold them within our hearts, those that are passed to or transpired to the spirit world will hear those thoughts, will feel those thoughts, and that will be reciprocated back to you. So don't be surprised if you come overwhelmed with emotion of sudden memories. That will be your loved one around you, cradling you, hugging you, uplifting you, and trying to motivate you, because mediumship isn't just about proving the afterlife, it's about inspiring the living, making us live our best lives to try to be the best people that we are. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, smile, be kind, be honest. You never know who's watching or how you might change somebody's life with the words that you might share.
Thank you. Robert, any advice for the holiday season?
I don't know if I can follow up what Phil and Kerry just said so eloquently and beautifully. That was almost as if it was, I mean, that was came from somewhere else. That was really beautiful words. So I will be putting that into practice this Christmas, and I recommend everybody does too.
Oh, thank you. And just know because I know you may not have a piece of advice, just who you're being and having that passion to serve. For me, there's a couple of things. One is, yeah, that passion to serve. It doesn't matter what it is. Anytime we focus on another person, our lives just work out. If we can see the holiday times through the eyes of a child, it can give us joy back. I don't know what happens with this ego and this little voice inside of our minds, but when we were a kid, everything was magical. And if we can look through that lens again, it truly is. When we think about it, folks, we are living on this planet that's hurling through this never ending universe that we can't get our heads around. If we look at the makeup that we are down to our tiniest little thing, science has proven all we are is vibrating energy. So we appear as real. I mean, it's one heck of an illusion, isn't it, being a human being? But science can't explain it, either the, a never-ending universe or down to the quantum level. Energy cannot be destroyed. It cannot. So our phones can connect to people on the other side of the world wirelessly. Don't discount yourself. So can we. Energy can't be destroyed. We can connect with our loved ones. They really are around. So see life through those childlike eyes, be of service, don't be alone. Like Kerry and Phil said, there's lots of resources. I know with me, there's, gosh, almost 600 hours of episodes. That little mind that we all have will cry for negativity. It'll cry for thinking about the holidays of the past. It'll be worried about the future. The magic is in the present moment. So get involved, listen to something, read a good book. So let me just close with some websites for you. Certainly join us for our upcoming events or get the replay, mediummovie.com. Also, Kerry and Phil's website is mymediumship.com. You can follow We Don't Die Films. Is it we don't die films.com, Robert? Yeah, we don't die films.com. And then my home base is we don't die.com. And at the bottom of that page, if you want to enter your name and your email address, you'll get a free copy of my book. Chapter 10 is on grief. I know so many people are suffering this year, and it just gives some tools to help move through that grief process. Everything that's coming up, we're going to share on all of the websites. Don't fear. We're going to share it on social media as well. Please be part of our family. If you're watching this, you probably already are. So on behalf of myself, Kerry, Phil, and Robert, let's put us all on the screen, give you a big giant wave. Happy holidays. And we will see you soon. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay doing live and online events. And we just are so grateful. More to come. Love to all.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.